I know everyone's thinking, whenever we come on the show, Simone has a stupid smile on her face.
Yes.
But it's because the people around me. Anyhow, you know what? If you are seeing me smile, that's a good thing. Welcome to Here to Help You. Today we have some good stuff to talk about. We have some fun we're about to have because obviously I'm going to throw it back. I'm going to get all nostalgic, okay? Before I do that, I'm going to introduce my co-host, the man, the one, the only, the Don, Dave Rankin.
Give thanks.
And listen, later on, in the last episode, if you get to stick around, we're going to be sharing some news, some exciting news.
Alongside the Donette Simone Jennifer Smith.
And of course, I'd like to clear up my throat.
Yes, to do the whole thing.
To announce who's beside me.
Go on with it.
So, I first met this young lady, and I'm going to say this. I'm sharing this to all the Windsor people. Windsor, big up yourself, eh? Dwania. Do y'all remember Dwania? I'm speaking straight to the
You know, like, you remember me, right?
Y'all remember? Dwania. I'd like to introduce our guest. And God, you know what? I'm going to say this. The first time I came to your event, and I didn't realize who hosted this. I was hearing about this event that's going to be going on.
Which event was this?
It was the Immigrant Women's Small Business Expo.
Thank you.
Ah, okay. Now
you were trying to call me out because you didn't think I remembered the event, did you?
I just need to ask. I know you actually go. You're backative today, you know. So,
I do, eh? I just you see how she came in there? You see how she slid in there for me?
Don't come for her. Don't. Not today. Not today.
You see that? You don't even know.
Not tomorrow either. Just point that out.
Oh,
okay.
thank you.
So I walked in and I'm seeing all this it was pretty. Like the event, there was just I just felt proper walking, a very red carpet. And I appreciate it. And there's people I was like, who put this event on? And I heard them call this name and I was like, Dwania. I just sat there beaming for the rest of the day. I am very proud. Before we even start, I am very proud.
Thank
of
you.
what you are doing. Today, you are going to tell everybody why I am so proud. Of course, you don't know already. We went to Windsor U together, the alumni.
Throw up the W.
Okay,
Shout out to the Lancers.
Honestly, I know. Shout out. How you know about Lancer?
I know.
I spent a few days in Windsor, you know. I know what's going on up
Sports
there.
weekend. That's the few days.
I know. You're here for sports. Hold on. Which one?
No, I did. You know what? I could honestly say that my experiences, the best experiences I had in Windsor were not on Sports Weekend.
Really?
Wow. Yes, that I can say.
That's good, because, Sports Weekend, well, what happens on Sports Weekend
stays on Sports Weekend.
Yes,
it does.
And now we have matured into this beauty that you are, this powerhouse that you are. And I would like you to introduce yourself to the MyTCNTV network, because I really believe today you're going to see an influx because people need what you're doing. It's very important. We're going to hear your whole story, but let's just introduce you, girl.
Okay, this is the part I don't really like. I don't really like having to introduce myself.
Girl.
But yes, I'm Dwania. I went to the University of Windsor, which was great. Got a couple of degrees. I'm working hard. I also went to St. Clair College. I also started this wonderful business. It's called Canadian Small Business Women. And what we do is we try to provide resources for people who didn't really grow up in an entrepreneurial household, right? So you want to start a business, you have this great business idea, and then what? You don't know what to do.
That's right.
And because mommy and daddy weren't entrepreneurs, they're telling you to go get that 9 to 5 because, it's a solid job.
That's
you
right.
don't really know what to do with your idea.
Yes, yes.
So I'm here to help people who are in that state. So I provide a lot of online resources. Actually, in 2018, you heard it here first, we are going to be launching monthly webinars and Q&As just for people who want that type of information. And with that, we have our 3 small business seminars every year. One, GTA East, I call one of them. It's usually like Markham or sometimes out in Oshawa.
Okay.
One in Mississauga and one in Niagara. And then the part that is near and dear to me is that Immigrant Women's Small Business Expo, because I'm an immigrant. I was born and spent a good chunk of my life in Jamaica, and then I moved to New York.
Pause. So
Yes.
now we're going to have to big up the fact that you're Jamaican.
Yes. Yes.
So you went to Windsor.
Yeah.
And you're Jamaican.
Yes.
You are a woman.
Yes.
And you run a successful company.
Yes.
Talk your talks, girl.
Yes. Yes.
Go on. Sorry.
You know what? In Jamaica, what? We're little but Watalawa?
All
right.
That's what all Jamaicans out there. Big for self. All right.
And only the best is good enough for us. We're very competitive. So it's not like,
Yes.
you know, they always say, oh, Jamaicans have 20 million jobs. That's okay.
And
we're good at it.
And so
we're not very modest either. We're not modest. But yeah, so I started this Immigrant Women's Small Business Expo for, I figure if you're Canadian and it's hard for you to find the resources, imagine if you're not. How much harder is it when you move to a country, you have money and you have a business idea and you don't know where to start because you're already trying to figure out maybe there's a language barrier, maybe well, obviously there is that cultural gap, and then you're here trying to possibly just get your life started. So I wanted to have this where I would have government organizations come in, local businesses come in who provide services for people who want to start their business. And I've done it here in Toronto, and I've also done it in Ottawa. So I'm going to keep going. 3 years in Ottawa, 5 years in Toronto.
Wow.
And I'm going to keep pushing.
girl, I got some questions for you, and we have time. So this is where I'm making you go on you today. I need to hear the story. You know what it is? Because I know you are where you are, but people don't have a clue of what it took for you to get there. They always say that sensations are never born overnight. Just because you see someone doing something big now, I guarantee you have a story. And I think this is why I have you on here today. I need you to share that story because people are going to understand why it's important to come to you, because you have that wisdom. You've gone through the experience.
You know what? For me, I pull everything back to my family. My mother, I always say to people, if you think I'm full of myself, you haven't met my mother. Because she vowed that her daughters are never going to have a low self-esteem. They're going to be proud. We're going to know that we are good at anything we do, and we're going to know that we can conquer anything we want to do.
Absolutely.
So anything I say I am going to do, I do it. Because it's not a matter of letting down somebody else. It's a matter of letting myself down. So that's how I start with everything. So if I have this plan to have an event or to host something, all I think of is that one person who will benefit from it. So I'm not really doing it for me. I'm doing it for that one person because, yes, I've had a lot of naysayers. I've walked into rooms. I remember the first time I picked up my business cards hot off the presses and I went to an event. I walked in. I was in a room full of suits downtown Toronto, and I was one of two black people. And they called me to do my pitch. I barely knew my business name. I went up there in 30 seconds. Everybody in the room knew who I was.
That's right.
Because
Beautiful.
I figured that's my platform. I'm not losing it. I'm going to use it. So you just have to have confidence in yourself and just keep going. Really, that's all I ever tell people. Don't listen to the naysayers. You have to negate all that negativity around you and think of all the people that you can really help with whatever plan you might have.
Yeah, it's very, very, very true. And like, Dave, you are now stepping into, you're not an immigrant, of course, to the country, but even you starting your own business, you can understand how difficult now.
Of course.
And the type of things that you hear. And sometimes it comes from the people you most love.
Yes.
That's the hurtful part about it.
Of course.
Right?
Because, the support system that we all crave for, right, is a challenge.
Yeah.
Right. Especially now, of course, when there are others who don't really share the vision. Right. So now, in that respect, now you've created this support system. How has this now grown over the years? Like, say, from that first person who walked in, right, to, of course, to where you are right now.
And what were some of the struggles? We're probably gonna have to come back onto this, but because this is all part of it, right?
It is. Like, the core support is my family. Okay. My mother is at every event, whether I invite her or not. It's serious.
Mom,
she was at the door. She
Big
probably
up,
checked
mommy.
you in.
She did. We love you, Mom.
Yes.
Beautiful woman, too. Strong.
Yes, she
Strong.
is. Like, she is there all the time. I don't have to tell her she's invited. And then you go to events and you might meet other entrepreneurs who are like-minded.
Right.
And you start to pick off who's there to ride a coattail versus who's there who really wants to, who
Put in
takes
some
an
work.
interest. And then you start collaborating and making these groups of, it's like your own personal board.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I have other entrepreneurs who I can pick up the phone and call and bounce ideas off of. Actually, I was in the car because I was here early, and I called a friend of mine. I met her at an event,
Right.
and she has become a friend, and she's also the person who I can call and say, you know what, Sandra Dawes, Embrace Your Destiny, she's great.
Big up,
you know
big
what,
up, big
Sandra,
up. Girl.
I'm going to try to do this. What do you think of it? And she'll tell me honestly how she feels, and I trust her advice because she will not leave me astray, because she knows if she comes to me with the same questions, she knows I'll give her an honest opinion. So you have to really just seek out certain people and trust your instincts. And if someone does the exact same thing that you do, don't look at them as a competitor. You really want to figure out how to come together and cut the marketing money. I know we only have like 3 seconds.
We'll be right back, everybody. Very nice, girl. Yeah.
Think you have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.
Welcome back, everybody. I already love where this is going. If you're just returning, we have powerhouse, 2 Windsorites in the building. Big up yourself. See, we got gunshots from behind there.
Wow.
That's why I know that, Windsor's doing some big things. We appreciate you, engineer man. We appreciate you. And of course, my co-host, the Don Dave Rankin.
Yes.
So, Dave, how does it feel? I know you must be sick of hearing about Windsor, right?
All the time I hear about Windsor, every last minute,
Because it's great.
Honestly, it produced, look at the powerhouse
You can't front on good education.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it.
And the proof is in the pudding with respect to, of course, those who have attended, right, and what they're doing with their lives now.
And I've noticed on a real note that most of us are we've done what we wanted to do. I think it's just the environment, the experience of Windsor.
Yep.
I think that there's a powerhouse group out of Windsor. Every single person I've run into from Windsor, most of them are doing something great. And it's a great thing.
It's the truth.
So.
Yeah.
Shout out to the W's.
Go to Windsor. Windsor U needs to really give us some money for this free advertising that we do for you here at MyTCN. Honestly,
keep
We'll see
hoping
the
they'll give me a
increase.
check one day or put
You
me
know
on
what
the
I'm
cover
saying?
of their university publication.
you know what? That's a good idea. We should talk about that.
Yeah.
I might send this to them actually.
Yes.
So we'll act all proper now.
I want the cover.
We went to the University of Windsor and we're scholarly. So
You got a lot of money out of me, Windsor.
you know what I'm saying? Sep's still in the pier. Anyhow, so back to you and the great things you do. So what can you do for the immigrant woman out there who's here? She doesn't want to do a restaurant. Let's say she doesn't want to follow her dream. What next? What? I come to you. I have this idea, and what can I do? What are my resources?
Okay. So the first thing that usually happens whenever someone comes to me with that idea, I usually try to vet them a little bit just to see their personality, to make sure that they can understand or at least receive the cold hard Dwania truth, because I usually ask them questions that I believe they should ask themselves.
Right.
Because going into a business is not easy. So if someone comes to me and they say, I want to start a restaurant, I'm going to just use the restaurant example.
Okay.
That's fine.
Jimmy's Jerk.
Jimmy's Jerk. I go, okay, did you write a business plan? No, I didn't write a business plan yet. Okay, I'm going to revisit the business plan in a second. I'm just going to tell you how important it is after. Okay, where do you want to start this restaurant? Oh, I want to do it at Jane and Finch. Okay, have you looked into how many Jamaican restaurants are in that area? Like, you just got to pick apart these little things that people don't think of. So I try to go through and I pick apart their idea just to give them more things to think about. And yes, initially that conversation is very overwhelming, but being overwhelmed is being a business owner. It's not going to be easy.
True.
If you want easy, do a 9 to 5.
Do a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
It's not easy being a business owner. So, once we get past that, I will always advise them to do a business plan. It doesn't have to be a 50-page plan. It can be 5 pages, but
Have
do
something on
that
paper.
plan.
Yep.
I ask them about finances. How are you going to finance this restaurant? If you're looking for loans, okay, so you better have a business plan if you're looking for a loan or a grant.
Right.
And you need to have a solid financial portion. This is where I point them in the direction of resources. So the best resource you have is your public library, because most of these libraries have business executive centers, and you can get business plan templates, and they will even give your plan a once at no cost. A lot of people don't know this.
Did you hear that?
That's excellent.
This is why I have you on here, girl.
Go to your main branch,
Love
find
that.
that business executive center, and dive into that.
Okay.
Usually after that, I tell them to come back, and if there are a list of things they want, let's say, I need help making a website, I need help with social media, I need help, before they register their business, I always tell them, do you have an accountant? Okay, you might not have an accountant that you go to all the time, but do you have someone who's well-versed in taxes?
At least, yeah.
Because you need to sit down with this person, and they need to help you decide what type of business should I register as? Do I need to be sole proprietorship? Do I need incorporation? What should I do?
Right.
So if they don't have someone, I usually have someone I can refer them to, because usually they'll give a free consult, right?
Nice.
If you're looking for, like I said, the social media person, I can refer someone. I can connect you with whomever you need to get everything started.
So, this is why you are such a resource. I don't know. I don't like to talk about myself. Girl, you've got a lot to talk about. And it's about being connected. Go ahead, Brother
I have
Dave.
more of a personal question.
Yes.
Right. Now, hold on. Let me talk. No, I have to talk.
Sorry.
We'll give him a second, just a second.
Thank you. Yes, that's all I need, anyways.
Go ahead, Dave.
Now, of course, regarding the cold, hard truth, right? Has anybody received that information and said, you know what, you reamed you out or cursed you out for that advice that you have given them?
No, I don't think anyone's been that brave.
Okay.
No. Because if they're calling me for advice, how I look at it is I'm not being mean with how I am delivering the message.
Right.
I'm just being honest.
Right.
And it's not to hurt their feelings, because if you can't handle our conversation, you can't handle the
What's
business
going on
world.
out there? Yes.
Because it's cutthroat.
Of course.
So, yeah, there are people who might not be happy with what I have to say, but they're never usually, cantankerous or anything like that.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, because, you know what? Honesty,
you ain't brave.
No. No.
We know what honesty, right? I mean, everybody wants the honest truth.
They
But
can't
of course,
handle it.
sometimes the truth is not what they...
And I don't want to deflate anyone's, dream, but I just want to make sure they're going in knowing exactly what they're getting, because it's going to hurt more a year down the road when you dove in not knowing what you're diving into. So it's best you hurt a little bit now and be prepared.
Yeah.
What's the one question you'd say you get the most when someone comes to you? And to follow up on that, what's the one thing that you think people always think they can overlook with starting a business? You like these questions, hey, girl?
I do.
Boy.
The biggest question I get is about financing. Where can I get money for my business? Where can I get money? And before I answer that question, it's usually, do you have a financial plan? Because no one's going to give you money if they're not going to see how you're going to give it back or what you're going to do with it, or else, you know what, we'd all be getting free money. So that's the big thing. And then the next question,
The one thing they ignore, and then they're like,
one
why?
thing they ignore. Oh, I feel, this is just my opinion, I feel that people ignore the power of a name in your business.
Speak
I
on
am
it.
not going to name my business Dwania's business. Nobody knows what that means. I don't have the budget of McDonald's to let you know what that means. I named my business Canadian Small Businesswoman because I had a vision for that business.
Right.
You can read it and you can have an idea of what my business is about, and you can have an idea of where my business is located and the growth that the business will have. But you have to realize, unless you have big marketing dollars, you need to choose your name wisely.
All right, that's a very good point. Dwania's business. That could all work in.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds good, but what is
Google Dwania, yeah?
I mean, I am only one Dwania, so I know it can come back to me.
You know what I'm saying?
But
Yeah.
I'd have to explain to everyone, what is a Dwania?
It's interesting because I was watching a video about how people sometimes do put their ego in the marketing, and it actually ends up kicking them in their ass.
It does.
Right, because it's not about you, really. It's
Even
about
the, way
the idea.
How you advertise your business. I look at a lot of people's social media handles, and I can say I'm guilty of not putting my face in front, and I'm working on that. I'm here.
Yeah, you step
Working on
one,
that.
Yes.
right?
It's a
Step
start.
one.
But sometimes people put too much on their business account. I don't need you to be my business coach and see you turning up every weekend. I'm not saying you shouldn't have fun, but I don't want to see you like this either. You
Yeah.
know?
Separate.
Yeah.
You have to.
I
yeah.
have boundaries.
Yeah,
Put that on your personal account, where if I find it, it's because I chose to find it.
True.
that's right.
Very
That's-
true.
That's right. You're being eggs up in people's business.
I'm fast, so.
It's true though. No, it's and even with, okay, you know what? We're not going to go too far, but I do want to speak about social media, because that's something that I think, because of how social media is and with advertising, it's the one thing that I think, and I'm going to say this, the West Indian community, we need to work on. We think that we can just put a girl turn around with her body out cheeks outside and be like, yeah, come to my dance. Well, you're going to get an audience. Dave, why are you laughing? Dwayne, am I wrong?
No,
'Cause
you're not.
It's so true.
You're not.
And then they put the same post right after each other. Have you seen those walls where it's just
Yes.
like the same flyer
Yes.
18 times? Boring.
They need to use that 80-20 rule that people keep saying, you know? You need to share 80% of other things, other content, and 20% of actual advertising.
Right. It's a
So-
80-20 rule. I'm just learning. The thing is, like, and it's funny, some of these things, like, I'm glad you're saying it. A lot of the stuff I had to learn the hard way, right? I had to do a lot of trial and error, which I'm sure you've gone through
Yes.
as well, right? And it's tough to figure these things out. So this is why I really believe what you do is so important, and why people need to hear you, because you're just going to avoid some of these idiot mistakes that are happening out here. Was that meme with the idiot?
No, it's true.
This is why
That's
I like
true.
you doing it, because you're just like, yeah, they're well idiot. I'm just not going to say it, because you know what? Small business owner right here, girl.
I just agreed with the message.
That's it. No dots and signs, right? Just an agreement. When we come back, we're going to speak to Dwania a little bit more about how we can reach you, some of the other things that are coming up, any events that are coming up. We can get those going as well. Yes? We'll be right back.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
As-
That was actually it's smoother than you think.
You guys have no idea what's happening in here. Everybody, it's all in my head apparently. Welcome back. Like, jeez. So we are here with my longtime brethren who's doing big things. I'm very happy at the way I found out. I think that's the part that thrills me the most. It's like when you walk in. I walked in, it was an amazement, and then when I saw it was you, I was just like so turned up. I sat there grinning like a idiot.
She was, because
Really?
I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I felt, like the look of a proud mama.
There you go.
That's the look she had on her face.
So proud.
She was really proud.
I was so impressed because it was just, honestly, the event was very impressive. I met a lot of really nice people there that day. You managed to get the right energies in the room, which is very hard for such a big event to have that, like, different energies in there, to have them like all interacting. There was no bouginess. I didn't feel.
Everyone felt in place. Like
Everything felt in place. No one felt. You know how you walk into some of these events and you feel kind of standoffish. I didn't. Like, I had really good conversation with, I think, a lot of the vendors in there, just kind of talking to them and picking their heads and seeing what they're doing. There was that woman who had the terraniums.
Yes. She was beaming with joy because we ended up giving her terraniums as a gift to the two MPs, and because no one knew what we were just shopping for, and I chose those to give.
They were really, really nice.
She was so happy.
Yeah, they were really, really nice. So, like, again, even with the conversation I had with that young lady, she's new to the country, and she had brought this idea, and she just started it, right? So her being there was exactly what you aim at, that demographic, and it was just perfect. It was well done. Like, there was everything. There was clothes. There's this one girl I have to get in contact with. You know the lady had the funky art on her tights? Do you remember her?
Oh, yes, Ravin's Angel. Yes, her Instagram handle, Ravin's Angel.
Ravin's Angel. Her
Yeah.
story is absolutely beautiful, and the clothing was nice. So again, seeing that and having stories there, like, I had a conversation with every single person in that room. Honestly, every single one of them came and they had a story. It wasn't just there saying, "Hi, I sell this, buy it." No, there was a story behind it, and so wonderfully done. Again, kudos to you, girl.
Thank you.
Honestly, keep it up. So let's let people know what's coming up in the near future, how they can get in contact with you. Like, what are your next movements? What's going on?
Well, so I took the month of October to rest because I needed it. And I just started getting everything back together, and we're going to reopen our membership site in a couple of weeks for new members. So look out for that, and it's CanadianSmallBusinessWoman.ca.
Just Google her name. She up there like
Google
that.
Google Canadian Small Business Woman. Google Dwania Peele. I'm sure something
Everything
fun will
comes up. Everything goes. It's wonderful. I'm like, Google her.
It's only one Dwania. I also will be starting our first webinar actually this next month in December. So I'm teaming up with Sandra Dawes from Embrace Your Destiny, and we're doing a goal setting webinar so you can set your goals for 2018.
Oh, excellent.
So that one is going to be December 13th, I think, is the Wednesday, from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. We'll have all the information out probably by tonight or tomorrow.
Beautiful.
On all our social channels so that people can register for that. So if you want to set goals for your business, we'll help you with all that.
Right.
It's a 1-hour segment. And then I've already set my dates for next year for 5 of the 6 events.
Can we disclose?
Yes.
Okay, let's disclose.
I think I might have written some. Yes, I wrote them down.
Perfect.
Thank
Go ahead.
Goodness. So for the Small Business Seminar, GTA East, that one's going to be in Markham at just like the 404 and Highway 7 area. And that one is February 21st. It's a Wednesday all day. We'll have 2.5-hour workshops. And we're going to talk about marketing and technology and how to, use that to decrease the amount of time you're spending on your business, but to also benefit your business.
Right.
And we're just opening everything. So we're just opening spots for vendors and speakers and sponsors, stuff like that for all our events. Then we have our Small Business Seminar Niagara, and that one is going to be on May 16th. That's also a Wednesday full day, 9 to 5 style, and that's going to be at the don't remember the name of the hotel, but it's the one right across the highway from the mall.
That one. Do you know that one?
That big outlet mall right by White Oaks or whatever.
There.
Across the street. I think it's a Holiday Inn. It might be. I'm not sure. Don't
But
quote me.
they can get all the details.
Oh,
though.
yeah. It's all on my site, all on the Facebook page and stuff. And then I have the Small Business Seminar Peel region. That one is going to be at Mississauga Grand. So that is here in Ontario, just south of the 401, and that's going to be August 22nd. That's a Wednesday as well. Then for the Immigrant Women Small Business Expos, the Ottawa one is going to be October 14th, and we're planning on using City Hall again.
Okay, excellent.
And the Toronto one is September 16th, sorry. I am not certain of the venue yet. Stay tuned because we are shopping around.
We have time. We've got time.
Yes,
right?
we have time.
We have some time.
I actually have meetings with our volunteer committees, thank goodness for some volunteers, tomorrow and Thursday to try to get the ball rolling for that.
Excellent.
So those are what we have coming up. And I know we will have another event in February because we are teaming up with Craft 80 because they host amazing craft shows. And this year we did a makers conference. It's a full day conference just for makers, people who make crafts.
Okay.
And it was a success, sold out. It was great. So we're doing it again in February. We just haven't launched a date because Jacqueline still has a few more shows left for the year, so we want her to finish those up first.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what we have going on, and I'm everywhere, like Simone said. Just Google me.
Google
I'm Canadian
her.
Small Business Woman on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram. I'm a little bit different on Twitter. It's just CDN, Small Biz WMN, I think. But that's also the importance of social media. Make sure that you can have all your handles very similar.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
That is true.
But yeah, I'm everywhere. And of course, this is a disclaimer to go back to what we were talking about. I love everyone, but please do not friend request me on Facebook because I probably won't look at it. You might want to go to the Dwania Peele page or the Canadian Small Business Woman page because I'd like to act a fool in my core. I never look at that section. I apologize.
I'm friending you.
Simone's an exception, though.
See, Windsor.
She's an exception.
Windsor. But I hear you.
Because I need to keep, my personal life personal and everything else. Everything else.
That's right.
Understand. So what would be right now, before we lose you, because we are losing you?
Yeah.
Okay, but it's okay. I think this was, I don't know, Dave, I know you probably have a couple questions, but I'll say this. I know this is really good for the women to hear, especially here in Toronto, the immigrant women. It's very important, especially when it comes to some of these business things we were talking about. What would be the one piece of advice that you would give to everyone right now, anyone right now watching this show who wants to start a business? First, or the most important thing to them, what would you say?
Just believe in your dream. Really, because if you believe you can do it, you envision that you can make it through, then nothing's going to stop you from getting to it. Don't listen to the peanut gallery, the naysayers. Just believe in the plan that you have. And you have to be realistic with the dream, too. I just want to, let's be honest.
True.
Be realistic. But definitely believe in yourself because you can't expect anyone to buy into your dream or buy into your plan if you don't.
Very, very true. Mr. Rankin, before Dwania goes, do you have a question?
I'm good. She said everything that I guess all of us would like to hear, right? Especially now, I know it's definitely just for small business women, especially, right? But for anybody out there who is or wanting to start something, you've already stated some valuable information.
That's right.
Especially the part where you mentioned regarding the libraries.
Yes.
Right? That's what they're here for.
Libraries are important.
Libraries are important.
And I know I say I cater to women, but they're always men at my shows. And if you're a guy who wants to start a small business, the best place to be is in a room full of women.
Yes, it is.
If we got some more gunshots from behind the camera, because even he agrees. So, Dwania, we want to thank you for coming here and sharing all of this information with us. Again, I think it's valuable. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of where you started and where you've come to. And again, myself being a businesswoman, this takes a lot of work. I couldn't agree with you more. You've got to really want it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. I am so happy.
Excellent.
That you
man.
came.
Yes.
Beautiful,
So
beautiful.
happy.
Yes.
I'm
So,
proud of what you're doing.
girl, we got work to do.
Yes.
I haven't even started yet.
The takeover.
We will be back in a few minutes, everybody.
Discover the incredible India.
Everybody,
We
welcome
back.
So, how was that, Dave?
That was real nice. I mean, it's good to see. I know Windsor is definitely a special place in your heart. Right?
Love that place.
And of course, for you now to go ahead and still have contacts with some of the people that you went to school with, right? To see how close you guys were, and especially now the level of relationship, right?
Yeah.
You know how sometimes you growing up, you be real close to some people. You spawn off, of course, doing your own thing, right? And then when you come back, it's like no days missed.
Yeah, it hasn't skipped a beat with me and Dwania at all.
There you go.
Like, she was, and you know what, like, it's not like we were, like, tight or anything like that. It's not even like that. She was one of those people where, you know what, from the day I met her, she's always been that person where it doesn't matter where you see her, she has a smile on her face.
Right.
But if you cross her,
Right.
I was never the crosser.
You're never
'Cause
the crosser.
know,
You just witnessed the crossing.
I witnessed crossings.
Okay.
Right? You know, but like I was never the crosser.
Well,
so,
glad you never crossed.
Yeah, man. I don't feel the need to cross.
There you go.
You know, like it just, you know, everyone's just stay in your lane. You know, stay in your lane.
Yeah, real talk.
So I want to make some quick announcements today. I figured I wanted to spend a little time and talk about what's happening at Here to Help, because we haven't done one of these for a while.
It's true.
You know, like what's going on with Here to Help? Like people see me putting stuff up, but
Yeah.
let's
So
talk.
what is going on with Here to Help?
Where do you want to start?
Let's talk about Windsor.
So I think I announced it on Facebook, but I'm going to say it again. So actually, okay, yes. Here to Help has officially launched in Windsor.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. We are starting to spread our wings a little bit.
Yes, we are.
And I want to thank my head up there, my team lead up there, Brittany Channer.
Travelers.
She's up there. You know what I love about it is she's up there in school, but she said, you know what, Simone, I still want to do this. She's still so committed to.
She ride or die.
Yeah, man, committed to working in the community. She said, I'm coming up to here and I'm going to bring the work we do from Toronto
Right.
to
And,
Windsor.
and bring it to the community out there. That's
Why
right.
not? We have a large community.
It's a very
in
important place.
Windsor.
Historically, here in Canada, it's a very important place.
So like when she said that to me, I said, we have no choice. So I'm actually heading up there next week. So again, Windsor I'll be visiting. We're going to be up there doing a little bit of marketing, a little bit talking to the community, figuring out what's going on, how we can best help them. So that is happening.
There we
so
go.
That's one thing. Second thing is, I would say some of the programs that we have, some of our initiatives that are happening.
Talk the thing, girl.
Okay, but before I...
Go on with it on.
So one program that I'm very proud to be launching is the mentor and coaching program, Here to Help. Now, Here to Help was based, to be honest with you, it was based off of the idea that, of course, here is not H-E-R-E, it's H-E-A-R. because the idea that we are here for our community. We are
Right.
listening to you, and I want you guys
Right.
to know that. And yes, we can help you in the education field, but we also have a very strong mental health field department there, where we can help people get through certain times in life. Life is tough. I don't care what anyone says. Life is not easy.
True.
We're preparing our students for it,
Yes.
right, on a day-to-day. But we have adults who are dealing with day-to-day life problems, life struggles. A lot of this stuff is stuff from their past. A lot of things are things that we haven't been able to deal with. And again, in the West Indian community, speaking about mental health is a no-no.
It's something that for our people to survive as functioning human beings, right? As those of us who want to increase our human experience, it's something that needs to be addressed.
It does. Like, it's just, again, from personal experience and having gone through therapy myself, I understand the importance of getting a lot of that stuff, facing your demons. So that's
Right.
what we want to help people do
Right.
with the Here to Help You coaching program. The community coaching is
Community-
what we call it.
community coaching.
Community coaching program. So we're here where, you know what, again, like, you come to us, we see what we can do for you. If it's something serious, we refer you to where we need to refer you to, right? We refer to people who can actually help you out depending on what is wrong. So,
Right.
or what is right.
Or what is
and you
right.
just don't realize, you know?
There you
so,
go.
That's another program. We also have Step by Step.
Step by step. Isn't that a
So-
new kids song?
Stop.
That was, right?
Stop.
Right?
Stop.
I guess I'm right.
So I don't know why you jamming back there for. This is not New
See,
Kids on the Block time.
He knew he was right. Yeah.
You just showed your age.
Shout outs to the
Wow.
Walshes.
Jeez. But no, and Step by Step, that program
Right.
is technology based. So we've decided we're also going to help our aging demographic, right?
Yes.
They need to know, with everything changing, with all this social media, you know, if my parents ask me one more time about resetting their password because they can't remember it, I'm going to hurt them. Okay? Like, Simone, no, I'm not doing it anymore. Pick number one rule, everybody who's aging. Pick a password you can remember. Keep it consistent. Don't have 90 of them with everything. All right, just put Ben for this one. Like, really?
And write it down in the book and put it in a safe place.
And put it in a safe place. We know you guys like to write things down.
Yes.
Like, you guys still do that. It's old
Pass me
school.
my book. Pass me my book.
But you know what? We're going to be working with our community, with our aging community,
Right.
and helping them adapt to the new changes in technology. If you get an iPhone, wouldn't it be nice to have someone just come to your house and teach you how to use that
How to use
iPhone
it.
properly?
That's right.
You know what? Facebook is a way to keep in contact with friends and family all over the world. But if you don't know how to use it, it's useless. So, step by step.
Yes.
Now we're going to talk about you, young man. What's going on with you on the Here to Alpen? Because there's two things that you are very, very heavy into. Talk about them.
We'd like to say, first and foremost, thank you to everybody who has tuned in to the shows that we do on a
Yes.
weekly basis.
Yes.
Not just here, but also, of course, our Monday night show, which is Here to House You, right? Airing from 10 straight to midnight. It's been fun. It's been a wild ride. It's been wonderful exploring different
dance.
music. Yes, it was definitely on beat.
Music in my head.
There you go. You know, like, it's been wonderful exploring like different music. Everybody who knows me, of course, I am a DJ, right? And I'm mainly spin, of course, hip hop, R&B, reggae, you know, stuff that we grew up all listening to, right? Right. But now I've always had a secret love for house, right? And of course, now for me to go and express that love, you know, being able to share, of course, with everybody around the world. Thank you to everybody who's tuned in, everybody who has liked the show, who has listened to the show, who has added me on of course, Instagram, just on the fact that, on the strength of course, them enjoying the show. Even if they tune in for a couple minutes, they're like, yeah, okay, no, yeah, that's all right. You know what I'm saying? And for this, like, last week's show, we hit the top 100 chart on the soulful house side of things. So it's,
Do you know how huge that is? Like,
I mean,
it makes you like 100th,
but still,
around the world.
Yeah, around the
On
world.
a certain chart, you already hit
on
100
on
Mixcloud.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, like, it's been a great ride this far, and you know, we're looking to do it greater.
Oh, we're
better,
going further.
bigger.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? I'm always looking out for new music about me, Afro house heads, soulful house heads, deep house heads. Send me a line, send me a music that, you know, maybe you can get on the show.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Carbs. That's Monday nights. Just to remind you guys, it's Monday nights from 10 o'clock
10
p.m.
to
till
midnight.
12. So it's
Yeah.
just an easy, like, groove into your bed. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man, it's Monday, it's light.
It's that, you know, that
Yeah.
that music that just kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
It soothes
I'll
your
come
soul.
home from work and just start. This is how he gets me to cook and clean. He just puts on music, then I'm just like, what? No, but honestly, it's
It is,
awesome,
it is.
and I'm proud of you for doing this. So
Thank you.
care101.com. Just click on. It's live 10 till 12 o'clock
10
p.m.
to 12 p.m.
Okay, on
Eastern
Monday
Standard
night.
Time, folks.
Eastern Standard Time. That's true. We have to always remind them of that.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Right. And also, thank you once again for Brother Shaduzi and everybody who has come out to all the African history classes, African
right.
studies classes. We do hold them on the last Sunday of every month inside Your Gate Mall at the Spot Youth Center, which is in the upper level, right beside the dentistry. It's from 11:30 to 1:30. We thank everybody for coming out, especially Brother Shaduzi for holding it down for the past couple months.
Yes, thank
Everybody's
you.
known, of course, during the summer my father passed, and of course we had some health issues along the way as well. So by means, you know what, like, it's only just, of course, to get the information out for our people.
Yep.
What they do with it. Hopefully, it enables the empowerment that we truly seek, right? And of course, from their part afterwards, it enables us to go ahead and build.
Absolutely.
And build.
Absolutely. All right. Some quick events. We have a little bit of time. Something that's coming up soon that people may need to know about.
Yes, next week, Children's Aid Society, they're having a public information meeting with pertaining to services within our communities alone. That is next week, Wednesday, the 22nd, from 5:30 to 8:30. That's at the North York Memorial Hall inside the Burgundy Room. Anywhere from, once again, 5:30 straight to 8:30. Look it up online, or by means call this specific number to register, 416-924-4640, extension 2890. Call by Wednesday to register if this is something of interest for you.
I would definitely figure out what's going on there. That's something if I had children, I would go.
Of course,
Just to check it
definitely.
out,
Just to
see what's
find
going
out,
on.
you know, who knows? Maybe they're pouring more money into the system. Maybe they're changing the rules. Who knows?
We don't know, but
you know,
knowledge is power.
Of course, and one thing that we definitely need to fight them on, of course, is not having a man inside the home. Right, this is one of the rules that Children's Aid Society, especially for single mothers out there, right? They do definitely cut the funding, if not, of course, reduce it significantly if there is a man in the home. So this is something definitely that needs to be fought against. So by means, go there with an open mind and an open heart, and hopefully they'll go ahead and of course, adjust the rules for us.
Okay, so.
Right. Secondly, I know we're speaking about mental health. You know, of course, this is something that's a child for you, you know, a baby for you, right? So, what I mean by that, of course, something there.
We have to get going, though.
Of course, I understand.
Okay.
Right. Let me finish.
Just saying, we got to get going.
There's a film screening at the Harlem Underground. This will take place early December the 10th. I believe the film is called One Shall Not. This is strictly addressing the mental health once again within our community. There should be people of like mind, by means, of course, those who are in the system, those who have been affected by the system, and definitely those who definitely want to go ahead and see the system work for us. Do attend it. That's at the Harlem Underground. And last, the Mikhail Jean Foundation, they're having a Black Canadian Summit December 4th straight to the 6th. It's important, you name it, those who are something and who have made something, you know, of themselves across this nation, and those of us who aspire and go ahead to make sure that we are and still continue to be something, will be there. Anywhere from Mikhail Jean, of course, Dr. Jean Augustine, the Minister of Education, Mitzi, she's going to be there as well. Mr. Hussein, the Minister of Immigration. So definitely all different heads are going to be there, and as well as there's supposed to be a launch for the National Federation of Black Canadians. We can no longer afford to sit on the sidelines, right? Let's get involved. Let's at least find out exactly what they're saying. It is something we want to get involved with. By means, at least we take the first step in being there.
Jeez. That's a lot of information.
Hey, man, you know what? There's things happening within our city that are supposed to help our people. So why not go ahead? You know what? Don't worry. We'll pay the fine if we run extra time, man. I'll pay it.
You pay it?
Yeah, I'll pay it.
Yeah.
I'll pay it.
No, there's no
I'll pay it.
fines. Anyhow, you know what, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in with us today. Thank you, Dave, for that last bit of information.
Thank you
getting
as
it
well.
out there. People do need to hear it, but I have to rush you sometimes. Jeez.
Go on.
Have a wonderful day, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in.
Peace and love, family.
Peace and love, everyone.